Here's question 2. Express 210 as a product of its prime factors. Let's first to read each word here and to understand what the question is asking us to do. They want you to express this number as a product. What does it mean, product? The product is the result of multiplication. For example, 15 is the product of 3 and 5. Or 15 is the product of 1 and 15. It's because when we multiply 3 by 5, the result is going to be 15. We call it product of these numbers, okay? So we need to write 210 as the product of its prime factors. Every number can be written as several factors. For example, look, 15 is 1 times 15, right? None of these numbers is a prime. 1 is not prime and 15 is not prime, right? But we can write 15 as 3 times 5. Every factor here is a prime number, so they want you to write this number as a product, so there will be multiplication signs, okay? And then every number here will be a prime. That's what they want. Okay, so usually people use 3 diagrams. For example, 210 can be written as 21 times 10, yeah? But 21 is not prime, and so 10 is not prime, so we continue division, okay? 21 is 3 times 7, and 10 is 2 times 5, so we circle those numbers as they're already prime, so there's nothing really to carry on here. Okay, and now we write 210, starting from the smallest one, 2, and going in ascending order to times 3, times 5, times 7. Okay, and please double check your answer. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5, 30, 30 times 7 is 210. So we are right and we didn't make mistake. The common mistake in this question was when people were listing factors instead of writing them as a product. This will lose you 1 mark, definitely, even if you didn't make mistake here. Alright, because you didn't do what the question asked you, write it as a product. You listed the numbers, the prime factors. You didn't write them as a product. That was mistake. Alright, now let's do the next question, question 3. This question is really easy, and it was shame to see that many of you gave up on this question. So what do we have here in question 3? We have 2 numbers, P and Q, and they've already been factorized for you. They've been written already as prime factors, and they've been written in the index form. So what does it mean here? That we have 3 multiplied by itself 7 times, multiplied by 11, multiplied by itself twice, right? And Q has 3 times 3 4 times, right? 3 multiplied by itself 4 times, and 7 multiplied by itself 3 times, and also multiplied by 11. Okay, basically they have done all this work that we've been doing for 210 and trying to represent a number as a product of prime factors. Okay, they have done this job for you. Okay, they just gave it for you. So everything what you had to do is to find highest common factor. For the highest common factor, we've been drawing. Usually people do Venn diagram. They are quite useful, although in this particular case it wasn't quite necessary. But let's do first using let's solve this question using the Venn diagram, and then we'll solve it without them. Okay, so you remember in this intercepting area we'll place all the factors that are common for both numbers. So here for P we have 7 3s. Here we have 4 3s, so the smallest number of factors will be 3 to the power 4, right? Here, and 3 to the power 3 will be left for P, because we used 4 3s for common factors, and 3 3s are left. Yep. Altogether you had 7 for P. For Q we used all of them, 3 to the power 4. Okay. Now let's look for 7s. There are no 7s here, and there are 7s there, so we can't place 7s in this intercepting area because there are not 7s are not common. 7 belongs only to Q, so we'll write it outside of this intercepting area, but inside of Q. Okay. Now let's look at 11. For the number P, we have 2 11s, and we have just 1 11 for Q. So 1 11 goes into the cross section, and for the number P, we'll have 11 outside, right? Okay, that's all preparation that we need for our highest common factor. So highest common factor is the product of all common factors that we could find. They are all here. So everything that we had to do is just simply multiply numbers that we have inside. Yeah. And LCM, we don't need any more to do any of this work. LCM is quite easy. LCM is multiplication of all factors taken once. Basically all factors of two numbers P and Q taken once. If you think about this number, look, P is all here, isn't it? Okay, the only number that wasn't counted is 7 to the power of 3. So basically, if I will pick up any power here, 3 to the power of 7 is, I need now to take maximum 3 to the power of 7 multiplied by 7 to the power of 3, because we didn't have it for P, and then we will multiply it by 11 to the power of 2. Okay, as I said to you at the beginning, in order to solve this question, you don't need actually to draw any Venn diagram. You just need to understand what the highest common factor and lowest common multiple is. That's why this question was graded so low, just 1 mark and one mark for each. It's because if you understand what the highest common factor is, you should see the structure of the number, and you should be able to see that, look, you've got 3's in both of these numbers, right? But for common factor is the lowest one here, 3 to the power of 4, that belongs to both of them. So 3 to the power of 4 goes straight to the answer line. There are no 7's in the structure of P, so there will be in your answer. That 7 is not common factor, so it can't go to your answer, right? And then 11's, you have just 1 11 in both of them, so times by 11. End of story. And you see, we don't need you to calculate this number. Please read the question. They said write as a product of prime factors. Write as a product of prime factors. So simple, right? So that's already answer. You don't need really to do anything else. And LCM of P and Q, simply now pick up the highest powers of everything, plus include all numbers that were not counted before, for example, like 7 to the power of 3. So 3 to the power of 7, 3 to the power of 4, you take in the maximum one, 3 to the power of 7. Then you take 7 to the power of 3, and then you take the maximum 11 to the power of 2. The question is done. Alright? So hopefully next time you will be better with such questions.